there's a difference between going solo and having no one to talk to.
I didn't have anyone I can bounce ideas off.
Do you want to keep staying in this industry? If you are, you have to be willing to do stuff that no one else is willing to do.
I feel like I reached my cap where I need to make the extra step. You start realizing your limit in terms of I can only do so many things on set by myself. Am I really going to be shooting this type of stuff for the rest of my life?
If you're currently at home spiraling on the same projects because you have no support or no one to talk to, today in this video, we're actually going to be talking with Justin, who's one of the OGs in the Tenfold world. Obviously, he's one of the founders, and we're going to be talking about how we met, how we actually started working on our first projects, the mental toll it takes to be a solo filmmaker, and how we've actually gone all the way to working with big projects and scaling it back down to solo filmmaking. We have someone special today, Justin. He's been on here before, but we haven't been on this together. So we have a lot of stories to tell.
Oh, we haven't.
I know, it's crazy. And then we have a lot of interesting topics around solo filmmaking, which is something that we've kind of gone full circle on, which is weird enough. But I know we prompt and say this so much online, which is like, find a new team, grow bigger in scale. And it's something that we've done over time. But today we're going to talk about how you can actually find ways to pivot back to solo filmmaking. But there's very specific requirements that are required to get there. But before we start any of that, I'm just going to start and jump into Justin's story a bit, because I feel like I have a lot of interesting nuances of moments in our lives together that will lead up to where our story is heading. So, Justin, do you remember before we even met, the types of jobs you were doing? My favorite story is the vegetable.
Yeah. Oh God. I mean, before we even started working together, it was a bunch of, again, solo jobs, and either I'm doing an event recap, or there's one particular job that I did, and I got hired by I forgot who or where or why, but I ended up being in a rabbi's home and shooting him preparing and washing vegetables. And I thought it was the most interesting shoot I've ever done in my life at the time. And
it's a very nice way to say it.
yeah. First of all, I didn't have the right gear. He's like, can you come closer to the
to get a macro shot,
like the pores of the strawberry, so you can see the things coming out. I was rocking with the Canon 50. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I can do it. So just see how close I can get. Everything handheld. Nothing was
on sticks or anything.
It was terrible. But something like that, I definitely was questioning myself in terms of, am I really going to be shooting this type of stuff for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
And but yeah, no, that was an interesting experience for sure.
Yeah. Do you remember what it felt like to be fully solo? And so it's interesting. It's there's solo filmmaking, what we're doing now in that case, but back then, what was that feeling of just not having the support? I think that's kind of the bigger thing.
Yeah, I think that was the main thing. It's back then when I was doing all the stuff by myself, it's solo filmmaking, but in the sense of I didn't have anyone I can bounce ideas off of, or ask
anything
or get help or support for literally anything. It was only on me to figure it out. And when it came to literally lighting, sound, wardrobe, the whole thing, it was all on me.
Yeah.
And I didn't have anyone to really just be like, can I have an extra set of hands?
Yeah.
Right?
So who were you telling or talking to?
No, nobody. I think that's when, doing solo filmmaking back then, it definitely makes you realize you've almost leveled up in a way where you're like, I feel like I reached my cap where I need to make the extra step, or I need to learn about something else to help myself grow.
Yeah.
And when I figured out I need a better light, or I need someone to hold the light, you automatically start to notice yourself becoming and thinking bigger and wider, but then you start realizing your limit in terms of I can only do so many things on set by myself.
Yeah. I think that's the most, it's every person's turning point.
Yeah.
Especially when you come from the solo videography space, where you're I don't know, the classic Matty Hopoya and Peter McKinnon, it feels like everyone's sold us on, maybe not even intentionally, but maybe it's how we've taken it in, that you could do everything solo. But it's very interesting too, because at the same time, there's people like Danny Gevirtz, right? And he's so capable as a filmmaker solo. But even then, like, it's not fully solo, right? Like sometimes he does have people coming on and helping him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And regardless, I think when it comes back to like the old school days, yeah, there's a difference between going solo and having no one to talk to. Like that mental spiral of like every project feels like the end of the world somehow if something goes well or doesn't go well. Like that's probably the breaking point for you probably when you were like, okay, maybe something needs to change.
Which was like, I remember our first job together when we shot
Your brother.
my brother's like dance team
Yeah.
or something, and they were just having
Yeah,
interviews.
yeah.
Even something like that, like we were both solo videographers. I was doing my own thing, he was doing his own thing, and then we're just like, let's just do our things together.
Yeah.
Right? And then I remember we show up to the to my brother's studio, and then we're just like, are you shooting? Am I shooting? Like what are we doing here, right? But then even just like the extra brain or second set of brain to be like, oh, let's put a backlight back there.
Yeah.
I would have never thought of that. I'm like, oh, this looks great as it is. So like even something like that, I'm just like, oh, it's way better. And like it opens up your mind and possibility to be like, there's someone else thinking about who's also passionate about the same thing.
Yeah.
Where you can now grow things together.
Did you feel like I was competition?
That's a good question, actually. I think for every person, like there's always that like little bit of ego and pride where you go onto the set, especially like we have no experience.
Yeah.
Where it's like we're both going in as the same role.
Yeah.
And then that's when we're just like, okay, now how do we start working together? Because if you have two like alpha males, they're gonna end
competing.
up fighting. They're gonna end up fighting, right? But at least like for us, it's just like we didn't know.
Yeah, I felt like we didn't care to have a role specifically because I remember I had saw it happened like a week ago because I was sending stuff to Kate for the website and it's like, oh, I'm like taking photos that day.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, I'll bring the Sony, but then I had like a Canon camera for some reason, and I was like taking photos, and then the lights that you had. Would you have like an actual 120D, I think, back then?
Yeah.
Classic. I still remember that broken bag and shit.
Yeah.
And then I brought like a tiny light, and that's what we were using to like kick them out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Right? Like I didn't need to buy a whole new camera to do this shoot.
Yeah.
I could just bring myself and my, but like you said, like, oh, just having someone to talk to.
Yeah.
It's not like, for them as the dancers versus yourself. It's like, it's both of us. Like,
exactly.
Now it feels like we're balancing out the kind of like situation.
Like it's like, if it's bad, then you have someone else to blame with.
Which is actually kind of nice. Yeah. And so that was like I love that story because I tell it a lot of like, it took me a while to convince you to like. Obviously, I know you were busy, but maybe it was other factors as well before you eventually actually met up with me.
Yeah.
Now I've asked you this in private over years, but was it purely a timing thing, or was there a bit of like? I don't know what this is meaning supposed to be like.
Maybe a little bit of both, but obviously the timing thing, there was always something happening. And then, in the back of my mind, I'm just like, how do I work with somebody else? Or like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, how does that even work? And what does that do? What does that mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean for me? Like, now, like, I'm start thinking like about finances. If I'm doing this for the rest of my life, like, now do I bring someone in?
My current rate gets cut into half.
Right? So I'm like, but then I'm starting to think like, if I do a little bit more, do I get paid more than he does, or like if he brings in, does he get paid? I'm like, all these questions was like, I'm like, I have no idea how any of this stuff works.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, it wasn't in the front of my mind or like a priority for me to meet up.
Yeah.
But then obviously like.
Yeah, I just get badgering enough.
Eventually I'm just like, okay, Jason, I'll come meet up.
Yeah. And it was like funny too because the conversation didn't even end up really on like the project side. I feel like it was just like, hey, I'm struggling. Are you struggling? He's like, actually, And I think it was that kind of like getting over that fear of like an ego type of thing of like, I actually don't know what I'm doing. And then it was like, oh shoot, it's equal on both sides. Yeah. And it ended up being a YouTube conversation anyways. Right?
Because honestly, like, once you start to realize that like, there's people out there who are in the same position as you, then you start to feel your walls are starting to break down a little bit. You start to feel empathy, being like, oh, okay, he knows what I'm feeling, I know what he's feeling, and then maybe we can help each other out to get out of this together, right? So, because
I hear a lot of people online too, students and people on YouTube, it's like, hey, I've tried to reach out to people, And it's almost like they're not like, I'm listening to the podcast. I hear like, I need to go out there and reach out to people, whatever. And then they get pushback of like, that person maybe is like thinking similar to what you were saying of like, I don't really know how that works out. So that fear almost keeps them like stuck.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know for you if like, yeah, if that's such a common thing for a lot of people, it's like, how do you get over that? You know what I mean? Because I'm sure even for us, like, I know it took you probably some thought process to be like, you know, after our meeting, you're like, hey, Jason, like, most random project of all time. Do you want to come through? Mm-hmm. And it was like, it felt very low pressure because there was no money involved
Did
in
I
it
ask
too.
you to come to that?
How would I find out without it?
True.
You definitely asked me because you're like, yo,
true.
I'm doing this thing for my brother. You want to just come through?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, hell yeah. Like there was no, but the thing too is like now realizing it and looking back, it's like, I think it was because there was no money involved.
Yeah. True.
And, you know what I mean? Like, so like that whole thinking in your head of like, oh man, I got to split my money, whatever. It's like, well, I was going to do this anyways. Cause you always shoot stuff for your brothers.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, dude, I don't care. Like
it's a perfect, there's no pressure. There's like, it's a perfect way to test it and be like,
hey, if it goes well, it goes well.
Yeah, let's just see what happens.
And it's kind of like why it all leads into like the world of spec too. Is because that pressure is kind of gone. Like you just allow yourself to be like, okay, let me try some stuff out.
Yeah.
What did you think about after that shoot?
I liked it. So okay, after it was done, it's the same thing. It's cool to have another person there.
Yeah.
And I guess like we didn't figure out like your director, MDP.
We didn't even know what those words were. Truthfully,
I'm like we're both camera people.
Yeah.
But like it was cool to start to figure out a new avenue of like thinking and way of working. Yeah. Where it's like, okay, now do we start having roles or like whatever it is? But I do remember this thing where I'll use Tier Zero as an example because back then they were the group or production company that I looked up to, that you looked up to, and then I remember seeing the credits list. Yeah. Of like, oh man, there's a lot of people on that credits list. Like, how do they
afford that? Yeah. How do they even find those people? Yeah.
How do they do that, right? And then when we started working together, I'm like, that's the first step to getting to that like long credit list of like, there's a lot of people on this project, right? So if I'm looking at that, I'm like, okay, there's definitely more than one person working on this thing. Yeah. Which obviously I know that like back then, like there's no way one person can do everything, but at least like it just jumping in or like getting my feet wet a little bit and being like, okay, I can start like swimming a little bit more, right?
Yeah. So, what do you say to the people that are trying to reach out and like build that first connection?
Like the people who are reaching out or the people who are getting it?
Either way. Maybe from both perspectives, actually. I'm curious to think.
Yeah, because it's like, I guess like in our situation, like you reached out to me. Yeah. And I just answered it and then be like, okay, let's go for it. Yeah. At the same time, like I never reached out to anybody to start working with somebody else, right? Yeah. I'm doing that now, being like, oh, this person's cool. Let's see if I can work with that person. Yeah. But before, just like if someone were to ask me, back then my mindset would be like, I'm just a little bit closed off. Yeah. Let me just like do it on my own.
What do you think that comes from though?
I don't know. Maybe just like a ego thing of just like my name is going to be on this and then only my name. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, but then once you start adding more people, then it's like, oh, I can't have the full credit. It could be an ego selfish thing for a project. Yeah.
That's a very good point. I do think it is a bit of an ego thing.
You know?
Where like the creative art is so like, it's so subjective. And so when you get a response back, for example, like you put out like the rose-colored glasses or whatever, right? It's like a early thing that like, that's actually kind of how I found Justin in the first place. And it was like, you probably got a bunch of comments in there and you're like you said, all the reactions mean you did a good job.
I mean, I did it.
Yeah. Right? And then it's like, if I lose that like feeling, am I as good still? Or like, you know, like, I don't know. It's kind of this weird like feeling over like, it's hard to explain too.
Yeah. Cause then you almost feel like, oh, so was it me this whole time? Like, or is it someone better than me? Yeah. Cause so then maybe it did come to the point where when we started working together, I'm like, is he
I
better
did
than me?
this. Yeah, I'm sure.
Is Jason better than me or am I better than him? Like there could be like, maybe like an internal battle there.
Yeah.
But then I guess like once you break down once that first domino falls, you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. And it could be a risky domino too, because
Yeah, it could go the other way.
you can remember it took us a while to find like other folks to work with too,
Yeah.
because it's like the relationship that we built the first time, I feel like we kind of got lucky, right? Like I feel like we both kind of hit like rock bottoms, and then we're like, there's nothing bad with trying, right? And then also from that perspective of like, I always thought you were better than me. I always knew.
But why did you think that?
Because I knew objectively, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I'm like, even you being able to do those projects by yourself, that's literally why I reached out to you, because I'm like, oh man, this guy's got something that I don't have. And to this day, it's the same thing, right? Like I can't go out, do a solo project by myself and be like, this is great. I actually don't have that skill, which is why I reached out to all of you guys, right? Like, because I knew on the back end of like, same thing. I took from the same perspective of like the tier 0 thing. I'm like, dude, there's 15 people on this.
Yeah.
I'm not 15 people. So automatically I need to get closer to the goal here, which was tier 0 back then. Right. And so it's like, we just kind of tried it out because we kind of knew like, okay, there's literally no bad, like there's nothing bad by not trying.
Yeah.
Right. Like we might as well go out there and give it a shot. And I thought it was really funny too. Like I was super excited for that first shoot because it was more exciting that I didn't want to keep pressuring you to like, oh, is there any jobs? Like that was never I think that's maybe that too, right? It's like sometimes people are scared of like, oh, I'm going to come in there and take your jobs. Right? It's like,
it's funny because I might have came into it being like, I don't know if I have anything to give you.
Exactly. So people are stressed about like, okay, even though if you even have a conversation with someone that's new and they're like, you're like, yo, I actually like your stuff. Like, would love to like figure some stuff out. That almost feels like there's like this pressure to be, hey, do you have a job for us to try this thing on? That requires money. And then that changes the whole dynamic. So I think we kind of got super lucky by like starting that new relationship on a very neutral kind of footing where you didn't feel like, well, we're both not getting anything out of this, right? It was really for your brother. And then we were just like, hey, this is an opportunity. But then I think when we kept going, that was the thing. Is like after that first time, we kind of laughed about it and we're like, yo, what's next? Yeah. And it just became the most random string of work ever. Yeah. Where it's like we did some dentist stuff with your boy. Remember? Oh yeah, like we just had the most like a lot of the projects we did in the beginning were like almost all of Justin's friends. Like the first couple of specs we did were like Josh and then your brother, and then it was like a connection of your brother, like you know what I mean? Like all those early days, almost everyone, because here's the thing too, it's like I guess I'm more on the introverted, like very private side, whereas like, but when it comes to business, I'm the opposite. Yeah. Right? Like I'll reach out to anyone because I'm like, hey, anything can happen. But like, I think it's almost the reverse, where in the business, you were very like shrouded because you didn't want to, but then in the outside world, like personal world, like you're like the most extroverted person and like maybe introvert, extroverted, whatever, how you ever describe it. But like, you just have all the friends and people like gravitate towards you. So like in my eyes, I was almost like holy smokes, I couldn't make these ideas and things happen because I had no access points. I had no resources. My only access points were like if I reached out to like a coffee shop or whatever. But if I needed like a friend that day that had like a skill, like Josh is a dodgeball master, like I didn't like, how would I find that person first of all? Yeah. And then how much would they be down to jump on? Yeah. So,
interesting. Yeah, that's interesting because I knew that I had a lot of access points where I could do something and then figure out something. But then outside of it, that's when I'm just like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to branch off outside of what I'm comfortable in. And then that's when you came in. You started giving me you started giving us all these like different jobs from different people. And that's when I'm just like, oh, this is cool.
But that's kind of how we locked in, and it was still super rough at the beginning because like it was just like there was a long point I think in the first like I don't know couple months. Actually, I feel like we only worked together for like 2-3 months, and then COVID hit.
Was that when we had the Zcam?
Zcam was in the middle of 2020.
Before COVID or during?
No, during. That's why they gave it to us because we had nothing to do. Yeah, I was like looking at the timelines. I'm like, oh yeah, we had only done a few things, and then we did maybe 1 or 2 VBCs, VO business cards. We took a course and everything, and then things shut down. And then we're like, okay, well, I'll see you in forever,
really?
And then what happened was like, I'm like, yo, I kind of got this like Zcam thing going.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yo, but then that's the example of like, this was something that we were building over time. Like, Justin barely trusted me in the beginning, and like vice versa. It's just like, hey, we don't know what we're doing, so we can't even overpromise anything.
Yeah.
Right. And like when you're meeting new people, you don't have to promise them the world. If anything, you kind of promise them nothing because like it's not a hard sell. It's like, yo, what are you up to? Like, I like your work, dude.
Yeah.
And then it's like we kind of just came into a place where like I was kind of more on the business, like, hey, I kind of know like there's like this next level, and I was always pushing like, okay, like, how do we make more money? Or like, how do we add more color or sound, whatever. But like, you were a better shooter and a director, and then I was more on, and you were a better editor too. But I was like always on the sauce side of things, like color and sound. Like that's all I could really help on. And then every spec that we did in the beginning was really just based around like, again, your friends. Like I knew Anoke back then, but like, he was like, you went to school and you guys were like deep friends back then. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's interesting to think about like how things have shifted, because I realized like now talking about this, all these little moments needed to happen at the exact right time, or else I don't think any of this would be here right now, which is weird to think about.
Yeah. So wait.
Yeah, timelines are crazy.
Yeah.
We literally worked for, I think it was like maybe 5 months together, or like somewhere around there. Before the Zcam.
So we were just doing video, like VODs?
Yeah, we were doing like random stuff, like the dentist stuff. Like even the dentist thing, I think was actually during COVID, because I remember we were wearing masks.
Oh yeah, we were.
Yeah, so trust me, I remember it was like your brother's project, and then we started trying to work with like Prince and then Shaps and stuff like that, and then it's like, oh, COVID's here, and then we're like, I think we did one VBC with Monica.
That's the one I remember.
And it was like our first $2,500 project. Yeah, and we're like, yo. It's not fun, but
and was that after we went into the
the course? Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. So this guy comes into my life and then asks me to
drop $1,250 of money that we don't have,
to drop like $1,250 on a course on a video business making, like a video card, or what were they?
Yeah,
like
it's like a video. It's like for businesses, right?
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, I don't know if I got that money, but like,
we definitely didn't have the money too. Like that was us just being like, we don't have any other options. I think for like that 3-4 months, we were literally doing the same stuff for like $100 here, $200, $300 here. We were doing the most random stuff. Like there were so many stories that we could tell you that like, we would never show the world what footage we have.
I wonder if it's somewhere. I don't know where.
Like the yacht thing on the boat. Like we did, just crazy stuff that no one should ever see. And this is so common for everyone, but it goes to show like that course, as much as it hurt us at the time with like, yo, Justin's 2,500. Yeah. And like, it's 2 payments only. They don't even split up into 4s. And like, we have to pay it right now. And like the amount of convincing I had to do to get Justin to pay it too. Cause like we literally didn't have any money. Like we were like, yo, this project's just going to get us enough. And like, hey, if we just land something in that first month, by the second month, it'll be paid off. Right. And what it is when you actually commit to stuff like that, it's like, you actually listen to it and you do it.
Yeah, once you have skin in the game, it's like, I'm in.
It is the skin in the game, And so it was equally as important, because I really started to understand like how to sell, and then how to like position ourselves, and then like we made Connect Productions, crazy throwback. That was like a first production company we made together, and we'll post a video one day.
Connect Productions.
We made a BBC for ourselves, which is crazy, and then it just turned into this thing where like, okay, we know we can sell and make some money. But we still both hated it. Because I remember we finished the VBC, which is a video business card, which is just like a who, what, when, where, how type of video for a business that's designed to help them sell and like bring in more clients. And it's easy to sell on that because it's ROI based and like, hey, you make this video, you're going to land so much more clients. But we had done a few of those, and we had gotten to a point where we're like, is this what we also signed up for? Right? Like even after your brother's thing, we're like, is this what we signed up for? And then this is like cool, we're making more money now, but like we still aren't happy.
Yeah. Like we're not doing anything cool.
Yeah. And then it eventually turned into like, and then COVID hit. And then the whole string of like work of like spec.
Yeah.
And I think it was in 8 weeks, I believe we did like 8 specs or close to it. And that was kind of the whole turning point for everything.
Yeah. That was our breakout season.
Yeah.
It was definitely a breakout
Because I remember
season.
after the first 3, people were like, yo, is this a series? Like, this is
Like,
crazy.
Who are these guys?
Yeah, especially when no one was really making anything or putting stuff out there. And I think that was an early stage of showing us the value of like perception and brand and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right? Because like, people starting to see us. Other filmmakers are starting to see us. And we started getting like followed by a bunch of people that we didn't know before. And like, that was kind of like the intro grounds. And it just goes to show like, you're not alone in being a solo filmmaker.
Yeah.
Because I think the majority of people that were following us were other solo videographers.
They were in the same place that we were.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like we were all doing the same stuff.
And I would say like a lot of people started to be like, hey, can I, can I show up? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And it was just, no matter even if that was like 5 years ago, that stuff still happens to this day.
Yeah.
Because we know so many students in our programs that are like, still kind of in that solo bubble, right?
Yeah.
And there's, I don't know, we got to keep coming back to that idea of like, I don't know if it's a fear of not looking like you know what you're doing as well. Mm-hmm. Because you're like, okay, maybe,
Because you want to seem like you know what you're doing, and you're the master of everything. But it's like
no one knows anything.
But really, like we don't really know what we're doing.
Yeah, like to this day, there's always something new on every project, right? Mm-hmm. But the best part is looking at someone and being like, "Yo, Justin, what's going on here? I have no clue."
Yeah.
Right. And then it's up to you as like an individual to like try to learn as much as you can as you go.
Yeah.
But at least you can like find pathways to like learn, like you're learning something that I'm no longer learning. Does that make sense? So like, and then I'm learning something that you're not learning right now, and then we come together and then we kind of share, and that's how we can spend more time effectively.
Yeah.
But when you're solo, like you spend a week on like I'll learn how to direct.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh man, this new camera came out. Let me spend, and then you go into rabbit holes into random places. Yeah. And so this is all kind of leads into like where Justin is today. And I know it's a big jump we're just doing, which is like, even that in between step is like, Tenfold started, we started growing, like we saw the kind of value that we had working together. Mm-hmm. And then Adrian brought us on for the first project. Yeah. It was so funny because we joined this Discord group from like Nicole, she added us, and then Adrian was in there, and Adrian kind of like saw we were doing some stuff on the back end, and we got like an FX9 for some reason. And then he's like, yo, I got a job. And I was like messaging Justin on the back end. It's like, man, another like $2,000
for the job.
Yeah. It's like we've heard this before. And then Adrian's like, yeah, it's for like $30,000. And we're like, what the hell? I just remember we were like dying because we're like, oh shoot, maybe we shouldn't have judged so quickly.
Yeah.
And then that was like this first stage of that. And then we worked with like Zach on like the Porsche job. And then that was like the first project with like Niru and like, getting up that kind of like space. And then, we went from like solo into expansion very quickly. Mm-hmm. And then by like the second year after that, we started like, Jordan gaffing, all these other people like that were helping us out along the way, and like super grateful for every single person that's helped out. And then as we kept expanding, it's like something interesting happened, which is for like Zach and Adrian and I felt like we kept trying to expand. And then for you, it was almost like the opposite. You're like, I don't actually like this system right now. Because like before, we just force you into a system, right? It's like, hey, you're getting dropped in as a director here. And then you're like, I just got to set, like, this is weird setup. Like, talk to me about maybe like that expansion up there. Like, how were you feeling as we were starting to like get bigger and having to like learn new things?
I think like being on these like sets that has like 30 people on set, it was like almost overwhelming. I was like, whoa. But then I understood the vision that you need all those people. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to execute what you needed to execute. But like it was just like being there, just like this is it's cool. I like it. And then that's when the whole tier 0 perspective come back and being like, oh, the credits list is like similar to what tier 0 is, was just like a full page of people.
Yeah.
But then it started coming to, for at least for me, it's just like, is this the type of stuff that I like to do?
Yeah.
Like the type of project that I would like to do, maybe sometimes doesn't require 40 people or 30 people. Like maybe it just requires 3 people.
Yeah.
And like that's like I'm always like going back into like how we started was like just the 2 of us.
Yeah.
And I think like this, just like the having that flexibility of knowing that we can pivot to and do whatever we want on the dime fast, and we know like we can also do it like relatively pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is like, I feel like that's my like safe house there.
Yeah.
But of course, like there's a commercial project where you need the full crew and everything. There's no way I can do that by myself.
Yeah. There's an interesting topic here that we talk about often is like, we're not necessarily advocates of solo filmmaking.
No,
And it takes you a very specific amount of time and learning to like, you know, like for you, I feel like it was like start solo, narrow, and then you expand it out. And then you're like, I've tried it now. I've tested it. And now you can start to chip back away and figure out what's like the core necessities of what you actually need. Right? Okay, super funny story. I love telling this one. But when me and Justin first started working together, like I got him into like the run space and then like doing like docs and stuff like that. And like most of the times in the beginning, it was either gonna be me and Justin together doing these like docs where we would like travel away and then like be in a car together for like 4 or 5 days together. And it's this thing where like we were so similar in like being directors in a way that like we should have leaned on one person's idea and then supported that system. Right. And so in the first 2 versions we did or whatever, it was like, we're both just kind of shooting our own stuff. And then afterwards in post, we're like, man, like we're not really using any of my shots. Like it's mainly just Justin's shots. And like, we just never came to the final, like, yo, this is Justin's project. And I will be the support in the back end to make and help out where I can. Because I think that's what happened this year when you finished your escape doc this year and you worked with Larissa. Yeah. It's like you guys had a much stronger relationship and knowing like she knows she's not going to touch a camera, more or less. So she's going to help support on the story and like the audio and all that other stuff. Yeah. And it allowed you to be fully within your range of like what you want to execute on. Yeah. And I think of all the things that we've done, I'm like somewhat the most proud of that, even though I wasn't a part of it. Like I'm okay being the setup guy of like, cool, we got here. Yeah. But then it's like put it to the best person, and it goes back to like this really deep rooted like ego thing. It's like, oh yeah, when I put my ego away, good things happen, and that happens in all capacities, right? Because it's not just that one project, but like, hey, I'm maybe not the best director for this project. Who is, right? And oftentimes in the past too, like I would sell a project and I would give it to Justin, and Justin was like, what?
Okay, yeah. There's a lot of times where I'm kind of just waiting for Jason to message me and being like,
what's
we're
up
going
next?
like we're going here at this time, this place, we're shooting this person. Let's do it. you know, like there was a good stretch where
it was awful. Like it was awful. Like I would tell these guys, like I would say like a week before, but I've known for like weeks. I've known for like, we could have been produced so much prep, but I was scared to tell these guys because I was like, I was so amped to sell something, but then when I realized what it entailed, I was like, oh no, they're not even going to want to do this. And I'm like, I kept doing this cycle where I would like sabotage ourselves. And these guys were literally like, I remember in the comments, like the WhatsApps were like, what? It's like, why didn't you tell this earlier? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. So like, you know, this is just, to me, I felt like I had to like bring in work, and that was my only like.
Yeah. And you were good at it. Like you were really good at that. And then that's where, I think that's probably where I learned about probably Zach and Adrian, like myself, like probably learned more about ourselves going through different types of work. Like one day we're doing a documentary running from Toronto to Chicago. Yeah. The next day we're shooting,
you know, basketball.
Like a basketball thing.
Yeah, draft till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Next thing, you know, we're shooting some like alcohol making with what's her name? With Monica. Yeah. Right. So it's like there were so many different styles and projects that we did, where it's like, it was cool. It was actually really cool because we got to like
Try it all.
experience.
Yeah.
We grew from all of that. And then each project, we're like, okay, let's try something new here. Let's do that. Okay, this new project, we tried that one for this one. Let's try this way for this one.
Yeah, it very much was that. Yeah.
Like we we tried so many different things in so many different ways where like each project we kind of just like grew a little bit more. Like we were slowly finding our identity.
Yeah.
And finding out what we like and what we don't like. And obviously there's jobs that we have to do to kind of just like
Pay
keep the
bills,
lights
yeah,
on
yeah.
and like we have to do these jobs, which is like we're never gonna say no to a job. Obviously if we can't, like
Yeah.
that's what like, but we're always gonna be down to do it. And I think that's where going into like the most recent documentary that I did, like, yeah, I went from a solo filmmaker by myself, how I first started,
Yeah.
to then growing with you, and then going on sets with like 30 people,
Yeah.
40
Yeah.
people, sometimes maybe 10, 15, but like you start to learn different roles and different like,
Yeah. What people do. Yeah.
what people do.
And also what you don't need anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now it's just like, okay, I had that experience and knowledge from the production world.
Yeah.
So now it's like the stuff that I actually like to do might not require all that stuff, but I have the skills and the knowledge from the experiences from those past projects where I can now just like strip down things,
Yeah.
or I just add it on. Like, can I do that myself? And then I
Yeah.
know,
Add
like,
one or two people,
Yeah.
but you know specifically what that looks
yeah,
like.
right. Like I still wouldn't be able to get where I am now without going through the process of all that stuff,
Yeah.
right? So I think like, yeah, like we're definitely not advocating solo filmmaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like filmmaking is like you have to almost know the rules to break the rules.
Yeah.
Where we have the liberty to be like, oh, I can upscale a project that comes in.
Yeah.
Or I see it, I'm just like, you know what? It could go that way, but I can also do it this way,
Yeah.
right? And then like,
And having the optionality is equally as important. Yeah.
like before, because we tested both ways out, being like, we tested the way of, okay, let's upscale it, let's go
Yeah. Yeah.
like gung ho on this. But then like we know that we have the ability to downscale it. Not downscaling, I would say like,
Yeah. Just like what you need.
Yeah.
You know what you need at least. Yeah.
right? And then still produce the same quality asset,
Yeah.
but we just
You don't have to waste
Yeah.
or spend 5x as much. Yeah.
like we can, now we're looking at it as a business mindset that we can profit
Yeah.
the other way.
Yeah.
Right. So
There's something that like we figured out the hard way, I would say too. It's like sometimes just because you can doesn't mean you should. You know what I mean? It's like just because we could get 50 people on this set doesn't mean it's actually the most reasonable. And there's like this fine point because I think in the past we were forced to go solo. Like there was no other option. Like you literally didn't know anyone and you're like, I need a mic. I'm going to go buy a mic.
yeah.
Right. And then as things expand and you guys get to do more larger scale projects or start to work with more people, it's like you could still make decisions like strategically and not have to feel like you're forced to do anything specifically. Right. And so I was even going to ask you too, if like, why did you end up sticking around still? You know what I mean?
Like during
like the bad times of like, yo, Justin, there's like this random project. And why did you still stick around?
Maybe like multiple reasons. Like, yeah, like we had no choice. It's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's grind through this.
Yeah.
Eventually we'll start doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Right. But then it's just like, I guess like I believed in where we were going.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just like, I'm not going to abandon what we're doing now to then go back to where I was before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I liked the progress that we made so far. Like, even though sure, like we're doing jobs.
Yeah, it's rocky.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
It's better than not doing anything or like trying to figure out what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's where like when you brought it up, you're like, I'm good at selling projects. I'm not good at selling projects. I'm good at doing them.
Yeah.
And then that's where like it automatically just like
Yeah,
clicked.
strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
Thing,
It's like when we figured that out, I'm just like, oh, this is crazy. I'm just like,
yeah.
I'm just waiting for a new one to come in. Sure, I could be like, you know what? Maybe let's try to sell something that we want to do.
Yeah.
You know, so like at least like there's a little bit of balance. Like we're selling, but we're also doing things that we can benefit from as like creative minds.
Yeah.
Because like you have like a creative bucket, you have like a financial bucket, and you have like a personal bucket, and then you try to see what you can fill by each job, right? And then I think like going through all the times that we have to go through, we eventually found our way through all that.
Yeah.
Right.
And what Justin's saying that is like, it took us a while still, and even up to like this year of like constant iterations of like, okay, what does Justin actually need? And it's not the assumption of what we think Justin needs. It's like, Justin, what would you actually like for this project? And then like just trusting the support of like him knowing that like, hey, we'll support you everywhere on the back end, but let you run it the way that you need to run it. And like, obviously there's sometimes like we've talked about, there's certain projects like there's a certain expectation, and that was what requires you to like force on new things. But like a perfect example is like Justin and his partner Larissa like did a whole doc, and it turned out great, and they're going to like film festival runs and all this stuff right now. So if you guys haven't checked it out, follow Justin and Larissa on Instagram and follow the film. But that's the thing of like, it took so long to just trust, but like not in a bad way. I guess it's just like it's these unknowns, right? It's like we didn't know what that felt or looked like, and it almost required you to like see it through and have it be successful for it really to click for all of us again. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's always these little evolutions of like, you know, because I remember going into that project where like it's just you and Larissa. Everyone's like, "You sure?"
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, "Yo, you need a sound person? You sure?" Like you'd be so busy, and then we kept trying to like force more stuff onto you.
Yeah.
And then like you're like, no, the constraint's nice. Like I actually liked. I'm assuming it's from your perspective. Like I don't need all that. And I will make it work. And there's obviously the ups and downs of like, you know, I've heard all the stories, but like you guys still made something amazing out of it. And like, it just goes to show like, you know, you did the same thing when we did a Lululemon documentary in New York. It's like, you kind of just went out there and found people like Matt out there and like people help you out and stuff like that. And you didn't require all four of us to like piggyback on top of you to be like, no, you need us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like, I think that's a bit of like a confidence grower thing that like shows up over time too. To this day, I still can't do what Justin does, right? Like there's no way. So like there's like you have that lane and skill that you've continued to grow. And then at the same time, it's like, it just, you know, we've all kind of like found a little bit of a path for ourselves, which is nice.
Yeah. And then it's like it's nice to know like that's what I didn't have. Like sure, like maybe I'm a solo filmmaker to an extent. Yeah. But the biggest difference what I have now versus before is like I didn't have support. Yeah. I didn't have obviously the experience and the knowledge of what I've gone through with
everyone. Yeah.
Like everything that we've done together.
Yeah.
But yeah, the biggest thing was like, I didn't have people offering me, do you need another camera person? Do you need a sound person? Do you need you just need like extra set of hands just to help you? Yeah. Like I didn't have that back then when I was doing that. Well, when I was still doing like mini documentaries before, but I didn't have that support and like an extra set of brains to kind of bounce ideas off of. Yeah. That like now. Yeah. That's probably the biggest differentiator, and like I think where we'll probably end up wrapping this up is that like solo filmmaking in the way we're explaining it right now is very support based. Like it's a choice versus necessity, right? Where like you literally have no one else. I think you have to go out there and like really try, right? Like, and not close yourself off so quickly, because you know there's times in the beginning it's like, first of all, not everyone's a perfect fit or match, right? And that's totally fine, right? But like you're always gonna eventually find the person or people that like really shine when you come together, right? Like you said, like I knew I wasn't as good of a storyteller as Justin. I had like concepts and ideas, you know what I mean? But then it's like, dude, that one time you let me hold the camera and like the whole thing, I'm just like changing focus the whole time because I'm like, what's happening? I'm like, that's just a perfect example of like, it's just not my strength. It never was. But how can I find ways to support Justin or Zach or Adrian in whatever ways possible? And then when we do come together, it's like, you know, I actually do like the jobs when we're all back together because it's kind of like, whoa, this is kind of rare. I don't remember the last time all four of us were on the same set. And like, that's just the natural progression of things. But I think it's for everyone at home that's watching right now, it's like, you kind of just need to like drop the ego. Yeah. Like you're going to stay stuck for so long. Yeah. 100%. Like I think that's the biggest thing is like just surrounding yourself with people who are better than you, but also just like you grow more. It's the South African saying, like you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah.
And that's literally what Tenfold is built off of.
Yeah.
Is growing together versus growing alone.
Yeah.
And then like, yeah, that's like big reason before I'm like, oh, I can do this stuff by myself, but I can only do it to this
extent.
Yeah. To this point where if we do it together, like the world is like, like we can endless possibilities, right? So
yeah. Okay, so Justin, for the people that are maybe solo filmmakers at home, and they're kind of in that position where you were before, what do you think is like the next tactical step for them? How do you get out of your shell?
Well, I think you just have to do it as cliche and as like almost like
You're being closer to you.
almost as super lame and cliche as it sounds. Just like you just have to do it. Like I'm trying to think of a better way to frame it, but in my experience, like with you, it was just like, okay, let's just do it. Like when we both had nothing to lose, like we're just like,
yeah, that's a perfect way to say it. Like
there's literally nothing to lose. Let's do it.
Yeah, like if things are already going bad, it's like you doing nothing is not going to suddenly change the results of anything.
Yeah. Because it could always feel like you know when you like someone comes up to you and tries to sell you something, and then you're just like, I don't want to listen to this person. Yeah. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like that with you, obviously. Yeah. But
damn.
But it could go that way where people feel like, oh, I don't want to, like. It can go the other way too. Like I don't want to feel like I'm trying to sell something to someone. Yeah,
like we're burdening them or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but at least in our situation, we're just like I'm in my mind. I'm just like, okay, yeah, let's do it.
That's a really good point, though. So I talk about this a bunch in like the cohorts and stuff like that. It's like the idea of pre-rejection, right? It's like before I even ask you, I'm like, Justin's already gonna say no. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like no, I kind of want you to say no. Like I need to get the no. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you never said no, it's like, no, I'm just busy right now. It's like, it just kept those doors open. And so it's interesting from both perspectives, which is kind of why I like talking about this. Because like, if you like, even right now, it's like beginning of the year, we always talk about this stuff of like, now is the perfect time to reach out to people and rebuild these connections and like make sure that like, you know, people are planning their budgets, all that stuff. Right. Mm-hmm. And in the beginning of the year, we kind of made this like continual list of like, who are the warm leads or people that we know in the past. And the difference is like, you need to do it. Yeah. Right? Because it's like, if you expect this sudden change of your business by not doing anything new or scaling up to the stuff that you know is trusted and works, it's like, that's just like insanity. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't just assume things are going to happen. How has it been for you to get uncomfortable again, to just openly reach out to people and like actually just go and ask?
I honestly believe that it's because of the experiences that we've gone through. Like it's like now, I'm reaching out to like cold emails. Yeah. Like they have no idea who I am. Yeah. But let's just start that conversation or just like just see what happens. Yeah. Because again, there's nothing to lose if we don't do anything.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I probably wouldn't have done or be as comfortable now if I didn't. Obviously, if we didn't go through 5 years of what we're doing, of what we've been doing, but like I feel confident going into these uncomfortable uncomfortable situations. Yeah. Because of I know what it was like before, but I feel like we've grown from that.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Of like, if you know what it feels like before, and if it just already isn't that great, it's like, do you want to keep staying? It's pretty intense and dramatic, maybe being right now, but like, do you want to keep staying in this industry, right? Because it's like, if you are, you have to be willing to do stuff that no one else is willing to do, and it becomes really a numbers game, right? Like a lot of our students, like, you know, Casey's a great example of this. Like when I talked to him, he's like, it's a numbers game in the amount of people that I message in like the first quarter of the year. And then it just becomes like a purely conversion numbers thing, right? So if for every 10 people you reach out to, one person responds to you, it's like, okay, that one person maybe doesn't, end up being a job. Okay, you reach out to 100 people and you get 10 people now, so same percentage, but then of those 10, you have 3 people that actually land jobs. All you had to do was just reach out to more people, right? And the thing is, a lot of people just don't have enough data points. And so if you're one time you reach out to someone and say on the first time you reach out to anyone cold and it came back to you and said, F you, don't ever message me again.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Then you'll be like,
traumatized.
Oh my God, I don't want to do this ever again, right? That's totally fair. But if you hit up 100 people and say you get ghosted by 50%, maybe like 20 people respond back to you, 10 of them are like, maybe in the future, which is super common. Like, I don't got anything right now, but maybe in the future. But then like 3 people show genuine interest and it lands a 5K, 10K, 15K job. It's like you just had to do more. Yeah. So now imagine you scale it up to 1,000 people, right? So the only difference between where you were maybe a month ago to where you are now, it's like, I just needed to reach out to 1,000 people.
Yeah. Which is a lot, but
it's a lot. It's definitely a lot, right? But like if you can find ways to systemize it, like obviously a big thing too is when we talk to students and stuff, it's like you're doing jobs right now. Like you're juggling like 2-3 jobs that like are long standing as well as, prepping and then like building relationships. There's obviously needs to be a blend, right? You can't just, but the difference is, say you're this is like the flip side is like you're very slow on work and you have no work at all. Yeah. Then what are you doing?
Then you can use that time to maximize.
You just go ham. You know what I mean? Move all your energy over there because there's actually nothing. And maybe this is like, I feel like this is maybe a very common videographer thing in the beginning. It's like, I have free time. Let's go watch YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Right. It's like, I'm learning through YouTube. People tell me I'm learning. It's like, no. You literally learn the most when you're on a job. And like learning that skill is going to be so uncomfortable. But this is more for like us freelance world. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like, imagine you're like a pure DP or a pure director. Like your goal is almost 2 things simultaneously. It's like you still need to build relationships, but you're maybe finding like a rep, for example. Yeah. And like, you're not good at selling. So you're going to just be really good at storytelling and like learning that craft. Yeah. And then the other side of it is like finding the people that can find you work. The chances of that happening are very low. Yeah. Like we know a lot of directors and DPs and like, it's still very difficult. Right. And so the biggest thing is like, how do you bring back control into your own life? Yeah. Like I'm sure for you now too, is like, as you continue to like reach out and whether you get ghosted, rejected or a response, it's like, you kind of care less. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like one of my warm leads ghosted me. They didn't get back to you. I'm like, damn, dang, yo, that's crazy.
I thought we were friends though.
It was like one of our very first jobs.
Yeah.
Like with me, you.
Yeah.
And then.
Hey, but that's the thing.
I was like, dang. Okay.
Sometimes this is also funny too, because like you can so easily think of that in such a interesting way because you're like, are you taking into account like, are they just busy? Did they not respond to you? Unless they're like, they saw it and then you're like, nah. Yeah. But also at the same time, like I read messages sometimes and I forget to respond. Like I'll be like, I'll respond later. And then 4 weeks later, I'm like, oh man. You're literally the worst at that though. Yeah, that's me. You're like, if anyone here has ever followed Justin and he hasn't followed you back, it's not your fault. Like, there's been so many times where somewhere is like, I'm following you right now. It's like, oh yeah? Oh shoot. Like,
there's plenty of, this is so off topic. Yeah, there's plenty of times where I meet someone, I'm like, yo, let me follow you on Instagram. It says follow back.
Like, oh. But yeah, so like if you're following up, don't feel an offense. That's just like a Justin classic. But like at the end of the day, like I don't think you should ever care too about like a follower ratio, whatever. Yeah. It's like it's such a non-meaningless. It's like a meaningless thing.
Actually, so I have a question then. So like, because we're talking about like reaching out and whatever, and like if you're reaching out and then if they ghost you, if they turn you down, reject you, whatever, then just move on. Yeah. Even with us, like you constantly just like I never rejected you. It was more just like, I'm busy. Yeah. But what if it did come to the point where I'm like, actually, Jason, I'm good. Like, I don't want to meet up. Yeah. like what would then be the
What would be my pivot in life?
What would be? Yeah.
Yeah, actually a very interesting topic if like you never really responded back. I'm very petty.
Yeah.
And I think you know this too,
Yeah.
where it's like this all kind of stemmed from Tier Zero in the first place. Right? Like my initial message to them was like, yo, I'm down to like help. I don't know if I was desperate. I was very desperate for sure. But like I also thought like, well, I'm just giving my time away. Like I am so good. Maybe not even that's just me trying to be like trying to like hype myself up. But like, how can people not take value in what I'm offering? But like, I think going back to your point of like, if you had said no, I would have like used that as motivation to like
to go even stronger.
to go even harder, to come back and be like, yo, do you want to like
Be like, look what I did, Justin.
yeah, because like
This is
that's
what
kind
you're
of
missing out
what
on.
the whole thing is stemmed off of, right? It's like us building spec really is like two ways. If I look at it from a perspective of like, oh, we made such smart decisions by doing spec,
Yeah.
but it was I think for me at least, it came from a position of like, no one's giving us the chance.
So yeah.
Right? But like years later, I can easily say, like, you know, saying it backwards, like,
Yeah.
we were genius. We made spec at the right time to like build our craft. But it's like, no one was giving us jobs, and no one was giving us a chance to like show ourselves. And I'm like, yo, I think we're actually sick. You know what I mean? I say it so often, but like, I actually thought like, yo, we know we can do more. Especially the fact that like we'd already been like looking at like we were doing the really like good foundational stuff when it comes to becoming directors. Like we weren't just spending our time on like YouTube learning basic skills anymore. We were like, oh, yo, let's actually like go out there and see what is being sold, what's being like, what's being sold, what's being used right now and created, like, you know, mood boards. And like, we were actually like, I felt like we were naturally doing that stuff because we were like, wait, how do people think about scenes and ideas and stuff like that? And so like, naturally I would have just like kept trying.
Yeah.
Because at the bare minimum, I knew it's never going to be me working alone.
Yeah.
But from who I was following, you were the only person that was doing stuff at a level where I was like, holy smokes, that's sick. And it's the same with Adrian. It's like, I didn't see Adrian's work until I met him through Discord. And same with Zach. I didn't see Zach until he started posting stuff on like, you know,
Zach
IG.
Zach was the car guy, yo.
He was the car guy, and he was talking about like, you know, he made that like his own reel with his face on it. I'm like, yo, that's sick. Like, and that's the thing. It's like, it technically could have been anyone, which is why I always say it was kind of lucky that like, you know, and then we met up and you ended up being like, oh, we went to the same school. We were in the same classes. Like there's a lot more connection here. And then it's like, oh, that's actually super dope. But it did still require us to do those first few jobs to even like break the ice.
To test it out. Cause like, you never know. From that first job when I brought you on my brother, I could have just been like,
this guy sucks.
No, that's not it. This
Yeah. And that's totally fair, right? It's like we work with a lot of people where it's like, okay, maybe that person needs more experience, or like maybe just like the way they're moving, it's like, okay, you know, they just need some more time, whatever. There's always things, but I don't feel like I would have dropped filmmaking. I feel like I would have just been like changing the approach a little bit. Because I think that's how we always operate anyways. It's like, whether we win something or lose something, it's like, okay, let's just regather what's going on here. And then we just like pivot or shift or try to find a new direction or whatever. But it's never like, and then we get kind of petty too, right? Because we're like, okay, cool, let's just go make a spec. Like that's that energy that we have to keep building onto. And it's like, I think it should be universal anyways. Of like, I almost feel bad sometimes too now because people are like reaching out to me to be like,
I know.
Are you going to give me a job? I'm like,
I know.
Well, that's kind of, I kind of want, like, everyone needs to go prove themselves first, right? And like, that was the whole thing. Is like, by the time we started working together, and then we put like a year into it, and then we were starting to like show up, and people, and then like, like the guys at Tier Zero were like, yo, what you guys are doing is sick. And at that point, I never cared about joining Tier Zero again.
Yeah, because we could just do it ourselves.
Yeah, and like, we needed just like that self-confidence. Because again, my point is like, I think we knew we were low-key sick. But it just took like, we just didn't have the resources to prove it yet. Right. And then whether those resources were people, money, or time, it's we had a bunch of time, but like we just didn't. First of all, we needed to like buffer how much money we were making to like live. But then from that point, it's like, oh, let's just keep reinvesting in ourselves. and then scaling that stuff up. Because now you have like a portfolio that's like standalone. Like you may not think that in terms of like, because I think every director or DP is like, yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But like if you just stack up like all the work you've done, it's like it's a very cohesive like portfolio that sells.
Yeah.
And like now the conversations is this is a big thing for everyone that's like, if we're talking about really tactical things, is your portfolio. It's like this weird like imposter syndrome-y thing, you know? It's like when you are first starting out, like I didn't reach out to, I actually don't know if you checked my work.
I did.
And you're like, what the hell is this, yo?
But I liked it. So that's why, because I had that like.
You can see the progression, but it maybe wasn't all the way there. And I can probably say that very confidently.
No, but I saw it and I liked it because I had that like Lululemon clean aesthetic. A little bit. I'm like, oh,
thanks,
that's
man.
cool. I'm like, that's cool. Yeah. I'm like, I'm definitely not doing that. Right? So I'm like, oh, cool. We can do that together. So,
But it was from the point of like, I don't even know where I'm really heading on that point anymore now. But like, it's just interesting to be like, oh yeah, like when we were first starting, I reached out, even knowing my work was not that great. And I think that's another big hurdle for a lot of folks.
Because you don't think you're good enough to.
You don't,
Okay, got you.
So you're not even gonna try.
Yeah.
And then you make an answer. Like for example, this is a good example. I thought you thought I was shit, but you're like, no, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
That's just me playing games in my head. This is how like negative a lot of like everyone is, because it's such a crazy industry to be like, oh man, like I'm just bad. I'm not good at this.
Yeah.
And then you project that onto everyone else.
Yeah.
And then you just are slowing your own self down, because if I didn't reach out to you, again, we wouldn't be sitting here today.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like you kind of have to just shoot your shots so consistently that the fear of rejection does not even exist anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just another day of your life. You wake up, you send some messages to some folks. It's just another day. And then even for you too, I'm sure it was like a skill that you had to learn over the years, because I was doing it for so long that it's like, oh shoot, I've kind of like forgot the skill of like just reaching out. But I feel like you kind of chill with that anyways, because you do parties and stuff all the time, you know?
Yeah. No, that's actually very interesting. But like, I like the idea of, like the whole like drop your ego thing if you don't get what you want, or get the way that you were intending to get, where if you can't do it, just do it on your own. Or like the whole
like a permission thing.
Like the whole like tier 0 thing. It's like, oh, like I want to work with them, if I can't for some reason, I'm just gonna make my own tier 0. Or like I want to make a commercial, for some reason I can't make that commercial, or I can't work with them to actually make that commercial. We're just gonna do it on our own. Or like be similar to like I'm reaching out to all these people and they're not getting back to me. I'm just like, okay.
There's more people out there.
Like there's more people. Or we just do it on our own again.
I will say though, with this topic and point, it's like if someone rejects you when you're first reaching out to them, it doesn't mean I'm going to go solo super hard.
No,
it's like, no, you just keep trying, right? I think this goes back perfectly to this concept of like working with a new editor. When we first had to work with a new editor, it was brutal, because oftentimes the first editor that you find is someone that maybe it's like the one of one option for some reason. Like, the one time I need to try an editor, I only know this one guy. Let's give this a shot. And then for whatever reason, most people do not know how to work with editors. They don't know how to set the foundation. They don't know how to do a proper walkthrough with creative of like, here's my goal. Here's what to avoid. Here's, you know what I mean? Like set all that stuff. And then what they do is they just pass over the footage, and then they're like, okay, this is a shitty first pass. I don't want to work with you anymore. I'm taking it back on. You know what I mean? Like how many times we've done this, right? It's like we won't even message the editor back. We're like, yo, Justin, this is the worst edit I've ever seen in my life. And then we're like, yep, we're never going to work with an editor more. We're going to work by ourselves. And then we suddenly take on so much more work. And the reason is we were trying to pass it off in the first place. We were like trying to optimize our systems, right? And then it always comes back to the whole idea of like, it was our fault. Like maybe that person is just genuinely not good. That's fine. But did we set them up for success or failure? And then it just over time, we realized like, you got to give stuff multiple tries, right? And then by the third or fourth editor or fifth editor, we're like, oh, dude, there's editors out there that are like 100 times better than us. And they're doing things that we can never even imagine, right? So it just goes to show like, oftentimes the early stage of like reaching out, like, do you think you were the only person I reached out to? Probably not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was reaching out to everyone because I was like, this is the moment I need to like reach out to people who I feel like we can like start to work together with or whatever. It just happened that like you were the one that I connected most with in terms of like where we were in our careers, and then that was like a down point for both of us, and we're like, there's nothing to lose
Even
here.
like on the flip side, no one else was reaching out to me to work with me.
Yeah,
So
which is
it's
surprising to me because I was
Yeah.
like, I thought you were just
No,
everyone was just going ham, you know?
No, there was literally just like, I mean, like, yeah, there was jobs that I would do, and people would reach out for jobs.
Yeah.
But it's never like,
Let's
can
collaborate.
I work with you or can
Yeah,
I collaborate with you? Let's do something together.
Yeah,
That's never happened to me. I'm just like, well, what does this mean?
yeah.
Like, what does this mean with who I am and what I do? Or
Yeah, it's like a whole identity.
yeah, is it just like a one-time
crisis.
thing, or is it like,
Yeah.
do we continue doing this? You
So
know?
yeah, I'll give two kind of final tips here, and then we'll sign off here. But you don't have to start a production company with the person that you work with for the first time. Like, there's no hard commitments, right? The whole goal is to just like try something, right? On the other side of trying is like all the success you can think about. And if you look at any successful person out there, it's like they're surrounded by good people that like believe in the vision, that like, yeah, you're gonna put in work, and this is, you know, filmmaking is still hard and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like, it was going to be hard solo or hard as a group. So you might as well pick the one that's like a little bit more fun, you know? And then secondly is like how easy it can be to just reach out. And so all I had to do for Justin was like, yo, Justin, love your work, man. Been following you for a while. It's like, just wanted to see if you wanted to like maybe catch up for like meet up for a coffee or chat sometime, see what you're up to.
I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
I tried. It was just so
you did?
deep of like messages. I couldn't get there. But yeah, like we're going to pull that up and find that, because the amount of time it took to just like, hey, please let me talk. I'm dying here. But it just goes to show like you guys don't have to overcomplicate these things, because I'm sure when you're reaching out to your warm contact leads, it's just like, yo, how you been, man?
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
It's so simple. It's, again, we always talk about this. It's a human-centric industry. It's just people, right? The jobs that you're going to get are from people. The specs you're going to do are with people that you know, your access points, all these different things. Like, at the end of the day, like Justin is someone that I did not know before, and now we know each other, and we've gone through crazy stories and projects, and like it just took a few DMs, and like if you just decide to quit too early, obviously you don't like stalk people and like Justin, you better be. But like at the end of the day, it's like if you genuinely care to like authentically meet people, it's very easy, because you don't feel like you're. There was not a day or time in the beginning where I was like, Justin's gonna make me money. Not a single time where it was that the purpose or reason. It was more like, I see someone that's like better than me at a craft that I want to get better at, and I think I can bring value to Justin. And if I didn't think I could bring value to that conversation or relationship, I'm like, it doesn't really make sense. Like if you were all into the same businessy stuff, or like we had this exact same portfolio, it'd be like, wait, I actually don't know. Like, are we just selling the same stuff? But like you had a whole storytelling and perspective and like narration, emotion that like I didn't know how to capture as well. So I'm like, I think I could find cool work for Justin, and Justin can do cool work that I find him.
Yeah.
And like that's the most simplest link up. And so I would say for anyone that's watching and listening, it's like, yeah, go out there and just like today, like I'm not even joking, like today, reach out to 10 people. Like people that you've been following, I would try to look for people that are maybe on your same-ish level, and that like maybe if they say no, like send them this podcast. But like, yeah, just like reach out and be like, hey, love what you're doing. Like, you know, I see, like actually watch your stuff. Like if you genuinely and authentically care about what they're doing, it's like, yeah, send it to those people. If you're just trying to do it for the sake of like, that guy's already doing sick jobs that are like way 10 levels ahead of me, it's like you might also get a way different response from them.
Yeah.
Because they might be getting hit up all the time from people trying to be on PA or whatever on their sets, and like, no, you kind of just want to find someone that you can chill with and like laugh about projects and do crazy stuff, because that's what it's gonna be like for the beginning of filmmaking.
Yeah, exactly. And like I always like for me when I was like, because I went to school, I went to Seneca, York for television broadcasting, and I was sitting there, but I'm just like, I'm learning how to technically do the things and stuff, and like editing, whatever. To be honest, I learned more off of YouTube than I did at school. But it doesn't teach you how to connect with people and network It just teaches you how to do things, and like working with you and going through everything, I'm learning to then connect with people like more like a like not as a business mindset, but more just like I'm just genuinely trying to meet people.
Yeah.
And then then maybe it turns into a business.
Exactly. Like where does it go?
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. Where it's like there was always this like mindset in my mind. I'm like, oh, if you're going to a networking event, I gotta meet
Yeah.
the biggest people so I can.
You're like shaking.
Yeah. Like I was like, but if you're going into these places like with a genuine like approach of like I just want to meet human beings.
Yeah.
It just flows naturally, and then
Yeah.
like you never know. And then you get a job out of that, right?
Yeah.
So
Because no one wants to get sold to. That's like the biggest thing. It's like, even if you're going to like a dinner with someone or lunch, it's like, yeah, you kind of all know why you're there,
yeah.
but like you don't have to talk about it. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, are you sick? Are you cool to chill with? Because again, back to that early point, it's just like, and we'll leave it off here. It's like, people just want to hang out with cool people. Like if you're gonna do a job, it might take you weeks and months.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do I want to hang out with you? Do I want to be talking to you every other day on a call?
Yeah.
It's like that's pretty much what filmmaking is. So, yeah, we'll wrap it up there. I think a lot of us, it's a skill to learn to get uncomfortable, but I will promise everyone, I'm sure Justin can attest to this too, is like good things come out of like meeting people and having friendships and being able to like, half of our jobs to this day all stem from like real relationships that we've had for over a couple of years. And like, that's where trust is built, and that's all these different things. But like, that's what it is. That's why recurring clients are like a thing, because word of mouth, like people just want to keep working with the same people that they like. And so you guys just, if you don't have enough of those right now, today, just go reach out to 5-10 people, respond back. Okay, I always say this. What's the word that we put in the comments that we make them say if they're doing it?
Oh, like they will say they would comment this.
Yeah. Maybe type in the comments how many people you've reached out today, and we want to know. Like, don't drop a number. Don't drop a fake number in there. If you hit 7 people, put 7 people in the comments. Cool. And from there, we'll actually track this. That'll be fun. I want to see how many people have actually made real relationships based off of this podcast. Because look, we're here. We're doing cool shit. We're having fun. This guy's on a world tour.
OG Temple Daddies.
Yeah, OGs. Please don't call us that in the comments. But otherwise, yeah, I appreciate everyone for checking around, sticking around. And we'll see you in the next one. Later.